Here goes.
Hey, Peachy.
Hey, Blue.
You know what day this is?
What's today?
It's September 1st.
This is the first day we're premiering our Vintage
Vixens
and
Vino.
Okay, let's do it.
Hey, but before we do, these are some pretty fancy glasses. Look at all these colors.
Yeah, I love them. They're real crystal, like crystal.
Really? Did you know if it's real crystal, you can wet your finger and go around the edge, and if you go around the edge enough times, it makes it hum.
Oh, kind of like I do with men. Did I say that out loud?
Yeah, I think you did. Anyway, we're here today because we want to talk about what vintage vixens value in a relationship.
Yes. I like that idea.
Do you?
Yes, I
Well,
do.
through our extensive research and our endless hours of conversation with each other, we've come to know some really fascinating facts about how the vintage vixen's mind works when it comes to relationships. So we'd like to talk about this.
And with over 120 years between us, I think...
Oh, sorry, we're vixen. Nobody's going to remember anyway.
We're vintage. They know we got some time. So anyway, well, go ahead.
Well, no, it's okay. We're going to be featuring guest speakers to talk on a number of fun topics coming up in the future. So look for us. You can go and you can send us an email to vvandvino, VINO, at gmail.com. And for those of us who are still vintage, that's vvandvino.com.
That's it.
So, when it comes to relationships, and especially to men, it's important to me that they're genuine.
Yes. Be yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to impress us. We're not looking for perfection. We're just looking for the man that's perfect for us.
Because we don't expect you to look for perfection in us either. No, we're not perfect.
No.
But when it comes to hair,
Oh, gosh.
let it be real.
Yes.
Let's be real about it.
Yes. If you're losing your hair, women lose their hair too, but we have more options. But if you're losing your hair, shave it off and wear a beard, and it's sexy as hell.
Be like Elsa. Let it go. Let it go.
Oh, I tried to let that song go when it was out. Okay.
I know, but Disney just won't let it go.
But hair color, well, all that we ask is that you don't spray hair in and you don't spray color in. None of it is sexy, because when you do the sheets, it is not sexy. I don't mind a little mess in my sheets, but I don't want it to be some strange color that came off your hair. Men, don't do it. We love you just the way you are.
Ron Popeil may have made a fortune off that spray stuff, but it's not good. It's just not good.
Not good.
Now, teeth. Teeth, whether they're yours or not, please have them.
Yep.
You can go without hair. You can't go without teeth.
They don't have to be real. They can be fake, but that's a deal breaker. It'd be nice if you had teeth. Unless you're 90. That's okay. Then by then, we won't remember anyway.
Right. And then, medication.
If you have medication, take it. If you need
Right.
it, take it. We don't want you to stroke out. Well, we don't want you to have a stroke. We don't want you to
What a way to go.
Yeah. We want you to be healthy. If you're hypertensive, take your medicine. If you're diabetic, take your medicine. And if you need to take a blue or a yellow pill or whatever color it might be, it's okay. We don't mind, because at the end of the night, we're all
happy.
We're all happy, real happy. Okay? Don't be ashamed. Embrace it.
Embrace it. That's right. And don't try to buy us. We're doing really well on our own. We're with you because we want to be with you. We're not with you because we want something from you.
Yeah, you don't need to get our hair done because we do it ourselves. We get it done. You don't need to take care of our nails. That's what a lot of the young girls do. We take care of ourselves. And you don't need to pay our rent. Most of us own our own homes already. We don't need to be bought. We want the things that money can't buy.
Right. And when it comes to things, it's not that we don't like gifts, but learn our love language. I would rather spend time with someone than have a whole bunch of gifts. Not that I don't appreciate things, I do.
Speak for yourself.
I know. Other people's love language is gifts because that shows your affection, your level of commitment, whatever you might call it. But just learn that person, and we're going to learn the same thing about you and try and do the same in kind for what speaks to you.
Exactly. So again, don't try to buy us.
And speaking of speaks to you, when we speak to you, if you can't hear us or you don't understand what we're saying, talk to us about it. Because tomorrow, when you're doing what I asked you not to do yesterday, it might not go over quite so well.
Yeah, we want to make sure that that you really can't hear us. You're just not ignoring us. If you need a hearing aid, it's okay. You know, it happens to us too.
Huh?
You know, it's just most of the time our hair is longer than we do before we cut our hair. And you can't see the devices that we have. I don't have one yet, but I wouldn't be at all ashamed. And anyone that knows me, if I do have to have one, it's going to be blinged out because I love my bling.
Right. So, I mean, it's really simple. Just be yourself. Be yourself. Let us be ourselves. And if those two selves get along, oh, awesome.
Fine.
Awesome.
Fine. Now, speaking of being oneself, men, we love you. Don't try to use terminology or words and you have no idea what you're talking about. Okay? You know I told you about what happened that time.
Yeah, that was quite a shit show, if you want to call it that.
I had met this gentleman. Really, I said, oh my gosh, I hit the jackpot. We were getting ready to go out, have a great time. And he told me that he was fluid. Now, for those of you who don't know what modern day fluid, do you know what modern day fluid is?
No, but you'll fill me in.
Modern day fluid means that you identify as heterosexual. However, you might occasionally get busy with somebody of the same gender. And now it's called fluid. Well, I sat there all night wondering if the man that I was checking out at the next table, if he was checking him out too, because I wasn't sure. Do you know what he really meant?
He liked to swim?
No. What he meant is that he was easygoing and he went with the flow. That's what he meant by fluid.
Very different.
Very different. So please, stop trying to be cool and hip. And if you don't know what it means, don't use the word.
And you know these kids are changing all our words. So just be careful when you're using words. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Vintage vapor.
Is that like in the Old South when the prim and proper ladies would have a vapor?
What was that?
Well, that was when they had to pass gas.
No, that was a fart. No. Vintage vapor means that I had a thought, it froze, and then it went away into vapor. I had no idea what I was getting ready to say, which is why you saw the pause. And yes, you may occasionally see me pause because I forgot what the heck I was getting ready to say. That's a vintage vapor. That just means your brain froze and whatever thought you had went poof.
It's like going into the other room to get something and forgetting what it was you were going in there to get.
Yeah.
Like
Like
that.
that.
And by the time you get in there, you think of all the other things you need to do, and then you never remember what it was you actually went in there for until you come back and sit down on the couch, and then you went, oh, wait a minute, I was supposed to get the blah, blah, blah.
Or like the time I found my car keys in the refrigerator.
Was that after too much vino?
No, I was getting ready to go to work.
Oh.
Very simple. Had my keys in my hand, had coffee in my hand. I was going to put cream in my mug, and when I poured it from the in the refrigerator, I had my keys in my hand and I dropped them, and then I grabbed my mug and got ready to take off, and then I couldn't find my car key.
How long did it take you to find them?
Long enough for me to call work and say I was going to be late.
Oh, no.
So then my late husband asked me why my keys were in the refrigerator. Oh, my car key. I kept my house keys and car keys on separate, but that's another story anyway.
Right.
So let's get back to things vintage vixens value. We don't want to be, we want to be your partner.
Right. I don't want to raise another son. I've done that.
And we don't want to be, at this point, we definitely don't want you to be our daddy. Something wrong with me laying next to a man and him wanting me to call him daddy. That means if he's my daddy, he's got to be 80? Ooh, perish the thought.
At least 60.
What?
Well, I mean, we already did the math. Never mind. I can't fake it anymore. When my son turned 40, or turned 39, actually, I looked at him and I said, we've got a problem. You're turning the age that I tell everyone that I am. One of us has to change it. I'm not lying.
Mm-hmm.
He looked at me and he said, Mother, you're ridiculous.
He just didn't get it because he's not vintage.
Oh, he got it.
Oh, he did?
He just didn't want to play.
Oh, but the kids know. But another thing, speaking of which, you got to be willing to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you want us to do things for you, you need to learn. Vintage vixens want to know that you're willing to at least try something. You know what really gets me? I don't like that. How do you know? Have you ever tried it?
No. It's like a 3-year-old who doesn't want to eat his peas.
You didn't try it?
I don't like them. How do you know? I know I don't like them.
Yeah, you got to be willing to learn. Learn a new skill. Oh, yeah, learn a new skill. or modify the one that you had.
Or if you learn that skill, I'll learn how to play golf.
Well, no, I'll just spend more time helping him hone his skills. But seriously, back to it. That would be a great time to do something together, like whether ballroom dancing, cooking, picking up your clothes. And
hey, it's Saturday morning. Let's do the cleaning dance.
Yeah. Woo. And maybe if you do the cleaning dance, we can have a special kind of dance later. I'm just saying.
Oh, is that when you pull out those shoes?
Oh, yeah. They are not meant for walking. But that's another show.
We'll get there. Don't worry.
We'll get there. But, it takes two. And we're willing to learn new things if you're willing to learn new things. Because at the age that we are, it's all about learning, growing, and learning new things and doing new things and being ready to take a walk on the wild side. Now, I'm not talking about getting too wild where you may break a hip. I'm talking about the wild side where you just have fun with the two of you and nobody else knows. And if it doesn't work out the way you thought it was, it's okay. Who's going to know? And one of you just may not remember. Oh, excuse us. It's time.
Oh, yeah.
It's time for
a top off.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Blue. And what else are we going to talk about? Now, we're just giving you a little bit of, because we're going to really get in depth in future cast of things that we want to talk about, because we don't want a man bash. We don't want to woman bash. What we want to do is talk about those things that are important to those of us who are of a certain age. We are going to be more specific about some things later. And again, as we said, if you want to have certain topics that you want us to talk about, if you want to come on and you want to be on our channel, make sure you come on, subscribe, and we'll get you on so we can talk about something that speaks to you, a person that's of a certain age. Vintage. That's right. We're vintage vixens. Now, we looked up in the dictionary and we looked up what the equivalent was for male equivalent for vixen. And it said fox. I'm not sure I buy that one, but that's what it said. That's what it said. So, well, yeah, we're foxy too. But anyway, I'm having squirrel brain too. That's another thing that happens with vintage papers.
Golden retriever. Squirrel. Oh no, you're just chasing the nuts, right? That's our cheers.
So did we talk about the clothes?
No, we didn't talk about the clothes.
Stop trying, even if you can fit in the clothes from 1985, stop wearing them. We don't want you to wear it with those little giraffes or whatever they are on it. Stop wearing those clothes. Get something more up to date.
No leisure suits
With the top stitch?
with the top stitching, none of that.
Or the swish, swish, swish,
The
swish.
corduroy. Corduroy was out like a long time
I
ago.
kind of like corduroy. And he's built right, but on a nice chilly day with a nice thick sweater and your hair. Oh, excuse me.
Reel you back in.
Yeah.
Hey, that's another Ron Popeil invention, the pocket fisherman.
Okay. I don't.
Google it.
Okay. Yeah, and we don't have to say we're dating ourselves because you know how old we are because we're vintage.
We're vintage.
And if you're watching this and you understand what we're talking about, you're
You're
vintage,
vintage
too.
too.
And you can appreciate it. So I'm just saying, Coogee was nice, but stop with some of the Coogee. Stop with some of the stuff that you're wearing. And by the same token, just because we can fit into the clothes that we wore to our prom does not mean that we need to wear it. I am not going to wear the booty shorts that I tried
Like
to
my
wear.
grandmother used to say, honey, if those skirts got any shorter, you'd have 2 more cheeks to powder.
I like that. But
Yeah, that's what you said.
okay. Yes, we're being silly. But the whole point is we want to have some fun. And we do want to talk about things that do speak to you and speak to us. And things that matter. And, the younger people, they have all types of things that speak to them that they talk about all the time. But we are going to talk about our next, but I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. We got a whole list of topics, but at least every month you're going to hear from us, and maybe sooner. And when we have our podcast up and running, we will definitely let you know about that. We are looking forward to talking about things like flatulence. Yes, I said it. Farting. It happens.
The vapors?
The vapors, yeah, but not the vintage vapors. It happens when people get older. Their muscles are just...
The average person farts 17 times a day.
Where did you get that?
Wikipedia.
Yeah, we all know that's fact. I think it's more like 27, especially after being a guy. Oh, and which reminds me, gentlemen, because you've been with us a while and you know we love you, it is not acceptable to just let her rip and then you giggle. Or you pull the cover up and hold us under there.
That's called the Dutch oven.
Ooh, wasn't nothing Dutch about that. So anyway, that's not funny.
And when you go to the bathroom, please close
the door.
Close the door.
We don't want the door open. And we don't want to talk to you while you're in there. And if my door's closed in the bathroom, leave it closed. When I'm ready to accept a visitor, I will open the door. Please. It is never, never acceptable. I don't know where this came from. Maybe it's a young person thing, but no, we don't like that. We tolerate it, but we don't like that. So.
All right. Well, we have entertained you enough for one episode, I believe. If we give you everything now, why would you come back?
Yeah.
If you get the milk, why do you want the bull? We're going to give you the bull anyway.
Yeah. But I don't think that's how it went.
I know. Oh, well, it was a vintage moment. It was the best I could do on short notice.
But we do want to leave you with some words of wisdom. My words of wisdom for tonight are, don't go to bed angry like your mother used to tell you. But I say, don't go to bed angry unless you want to have a great makeup later that night or the next day. You know what I mean.
And my words of wisdom are, always put on clean underwear before you go out in public, because you're never going to know when you need to take them off.
Oh, people wear underwear still? Oh, I forgot this is still on. Okay, well, I think it's time for us to do that thing.
I'm Blue.
I'm Peachy.
And we're Vintage, Vixens, and
and
Vino. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.